Okay, I'm redoing part 3 of the SEC whistleblower report. I might be repeating some of the last part from part 2, but post-divorce discovery. In my research to reopen my divorce in June 2022, I found something peculiar in our Dropbox folders that I had transferred during our divorce. Michael had put a Laclede folder in our Atrium development files. It was the closing documents for all 52 condos for Laclede, and it was odd that Michael put it in there. I read through each closing statement and noticed that all of the closing documents signed by Austin Barzantni included a deed of release from Midland States Bank, and all of the documents signed by Michael Gingrich included a quitclaim and deed of release from Profusion Laclede condos. The deeds Austin signed totaled exactly the amount of the $11 million loan from Midland States. The deed signed by Michael totaled over $14 million. Then I found an email between Michael and Jennifer Perkins at Midland States Bank, informing him and Derek that the $950,000 loan with Profusion Laclede condos had been fulfilled. Michael instructed her to continue paying Profusion 50% of the profits. So even though Profusion Laclede condos was not an investor, but a sub-debt loan, they took over $7.5 million in profits, the exact same amount they raised in capital for the fund. I had found an email between Derek, Michael, and Nate Sala, our tax accountant, about how to classify this loan/investment. And then after the Laclede investment or placement, it appeared that the money was then laundered into Profusion Private Asset Fund and then spread out into 2 DDC Florida investment deals, Cap 5 Champions Gate and Cap 5 Ford. 3 companies formed at the inception of Profusion's private fund in 2019. Profusion Cap 5 Champions Gate and Profusion Cap 5 4 and Cap 5 Development, set up by Chris Helfrich and Aaron Matson at DDC. I don't know much about these companies except they were Michael and Derek's first investments with PPAF. The capital investment for Champions Gate and Ford wasn't much money, only $168,000 and $379,000 respectively. But I found out that the payout was big, 130% initial rate of return on Champions Gate in July 2021. In 2021, Michael started a construction company with DDC called 3Core. There was another company, Profusion DDC Pursuit, that Michael started as well. It was a disregarded entity that he was also investing through. I was trying to uncover more on these companies in my attempts to reopen the divorce in 2022, but Michael's attorneys, Ryan King, Business, and Matt Eilert's family were able to quash it because of my former attorney, Sophie Raza, missed a critical file deadline. There were also emails that went missing from both of our accounts, mine and Sophie's. Mine and Sophie's, regarding important communication between her and Michael's attorney. After she missed the deadline and filed it 3 months later in October 2022, she told me a month later that she was getting away from litigation and needed me to find another attorney. In November, I began looking for another family attorney. In January 2023, I hired Stephanie Jones, and we are currently in modification with the courts. That same month, it was earlier, around November, October of 2022, I was shocked with another discovery. I had learned that 2 of the men that worked with us in the beginning stages of our business formation, Alan and Peter, this was the beginning stages when we were working with Oleg Kordakovsky and Michael Israeli. I had found out that Alan and Peter were FBI agents. I don't know why they were involved, and their involvement was mainly, I couldn't describe it more than like an overseeing capacity. They were present from 2014 to 2016, through 2016. And then after that, they disappeared from our offices. Then nearly 4 years later, in 2020, we purchased a 6-unit apartment complex in Clayton, Missouri at 7537 Buckingham. And one of the units I found out had a cycle of FBI agents renting apartment 1E. And I noticed that it had 3 large cutouts in the back bedroom that none of the other units had. In January 2023, I read an article from St. Louis Post-Dispatch on the indictment of former New York FBI Director Charles McConigal, which led me to the FinCEN alert put out on January 25th regarding Russian money laundering in the commercial real estate sector. To my knowledge, no SARS suspicious activity reports have been filed to document any transactions described above. Similarly, to my knowledge, none of the persons or entities involved in these transactions were searched on OFAC prior to accepting funds into the United States. My heart dropped as I read the FinCEN alert describing everything that I had uncovered over the past 6 months. Since I've begun looking into my ex-husband's businesses, he has told me my texts and emails, including those of my attorneys, are being monitored. It is difficult to describe how scary this has been for me personally, especially from a man I trusted for over 20 years, nearly half my life. And the fear of reporting it, not knowing what will happen to me, my daughters, or all the people who have invested with Profusion, including myself and a company, Veritas Properties, a total of $800,000 we have invested in 5 deals. But through God and my convictions, I have the strength to move forward and do what I believe is the right thing. If you need more details or have questions, please direct them to Cosgrove Law Group, and I will answer to the best of my ability.